I spent years trying to understand why I could obsess over a completely useless idea for 3 days, but somehow not answer one email. Why I could be warm and funny with one person, then become a silent background character around somebody else. Why people called me smart when I felt like a Psyduck, trying to remember what room it had walked into. Therapy is expensive. Personality tests are usually either 40 minutes long or tell you which enchanted bread roll you are. I realized Pokémon had already given me a surprisingly useful way to understand myself. Just like Pokémon, you have base stats, and understanding your base stats replaces the feeling of being fundamentally broken with a clear strategy. Psychologists often describe personality using 5 broad traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And by the end of this video, you will have a 5 Pokémon team that explains how you think, work, socialize, care, and spiral. When you lay out your roster, those lifelong contradictions finally snap into focus. More importantly, you may spot that one stat you spent your entire life misunderstanding. This is just a metaphor, but it might just give you language for things you have felt for years, and I think that's pretty rad. But shut up for now, let's inspect your base stats. Openness is how strongly your brain craves novelty, ideas, and unfamiliar experiences. High openness is Mew. Mew can learn an absurd variety of moves, and your brain would also like to learn everything, even things it has absolutely no operational use for. You hear one anime soundtrack and decide to learn Japanese. You see one beautifully edited video and suddenly own 400 pounds of camera equipment. Your browser has 17 tabs open because every tab represents a possible new evolution of your personality. You see connections other people completely miss, which is great until you realize you're lost in the sauce artistically. Surf, thunderbolt, psychic, and flamethrower, but you completely forgot to buy balls. You get lost artistically. Low openness is more Machamp. Forearms, proven technique. No desire to replace a strategy that already works. You enjoy reliable routines, familiar places, and the exquisite security of ordering the exact same takeaway every Friday. While others chase novelty, you prioritize avoiding unforced errors and failure conditions. Your strength is focus. Your weakness is that unfamiliar ideas can feel wrong before you have actually tested them. Choose your first teammate, Mew or Machamp. You have your ideas, but ideas are only potential. The next stat determines whether any of those concepts actually escape your notes app. Conscientiousness is organization, reliability, and PowerPoint conservation for long sessions. High conscientiousness is Blastoise. You picked a lane, grinded the XP, and evolved exactly on schedule. You embody the motivational montage. Your calendar is immaculate. Your Pokémon boxes are organized. Relaxing sometimes means completing the tasks that were preventing you from relaxing. Blastoise conserves moves for the Elite Four. People depend on you, and that is both your greatest strength and the reason nobody notices when you are drowning. High conscientiousness has a hidden move, Protect. Boundaries that preserve tomorrow's energy instead of greedily spending it all now. Low conscientiousness is Slowpoke. In the games, Slowpoke only evolves into Slowbro when a Shelder physically bites its tail. Your motivation functions the exact same way. Time remains purely theoretical until an external force, a looming deadline, a frustrated manager, a final notice, literally latches onto you to trigger the evolution sequence. You burn your early energy on meaningless side quests, requiring sheer panic to summon your intensity at the final hour. Your strength is flexibility. Your weakness is requiring an external threat to activate your final form. Choose Blastoise or Slowpoke. Whether you plan like Blastoise or scramble like Slowpoke, you still need fuel. This brings us to where your energy actually originates. Everybody simplifies this one as whether you're loud or shy. In actuality, it's how strongly your nervous system seeks stimulation, activity, and social reward. High extraversion is Pikachu. Being around people charges you. You think by talking. You make group chats feel alive again. A silent room operates as a battery warning. Your strength is momentum. You pull people into the moment. Your weakness is assuming everyone else receives energy from the same source. Sometimes you become a Pikachu using Thunderbolt in a library. No malice intended, just extreme presence. Low extraversion is Umbreon. You need deliberate darkness and solitude before your nervous system stops making dial-up noises. You can love somebody deeply and still need 3 business days to recover from seeing them. Solitude turns down the noise, making your internal world fully audible. Your strength is depth. Your weakness is that protecting your energy can slowly turn into never letting anybody reach you. Choose Pikachu or Umbreon. Energy dictates how you recharge, but it fails to explain your reactions when someone else demands a portion of that energy. That is where the next stat takes over. Agreeableness is how strongly you prioritize empathy, cooperation, and harmony. High agreeableness is Togepi. You notice who is being left out. You absorb changes in tone. You apologize to furniture after walking into it. Your default move is follow me. You draw attacks away from the team, absorbing damage to keep others safe, buffering the team without checking whether anybody is covering you. You make people feel safe. You're spamming follow me to absorb damage and keep everyone else buffed. But you can spend years playing support in a doubles battle before realizing your teammate was never actually on your side. Low agreeableness is Mewtwo. You protect truth before comfort. You question bad plans, weak assumptions, and authority figures who expect obedience without competence. You rely on raw, independent stats, viewing help as simply eliminating the obstacle efficiently. Your strength is intellectual independence. Your weakness is forgetting that correct information can still be delivered as an emotional hyperbeam. Colin Togepi weak or Mewtwo cruel completely misunderstands the actual trade-off. Choose Togepi or Mewtwo. When these two meet in a relationship, they can either cover each other beautifully or spend 5 years believing that the other person is morally defective. Only one stat remains, the stat people fear rolling high on, even though it explains why you notice everything first. The traditional Big Five term is neuroticism. A less villainous description is emotional sensitivity. How readily your threat system reacts to uncertainty, stress, and negative emotion. High sensitivity is Psyduck. Your brain runs simulations because it is trying to protect you. Every possible outcome, every possible mistake, every interpretation of the full stop at the end of somebody's text. Psyduck spends energy bracing for a status condition like confusion or paralysis, even when the opponent hasn't made a move. You often detect danger early. You may also detect 6 dangers that do not exist and become exhausted surviving all of them. Your strength is vigilance and emotional depth. Your weakness is that neutral events can arrive wearing boss music. Low sensitivity is Snorlax. Chaos can erupt around you, and your emotional baseline barely moves. You recover quickly. You do not rehearse a conversation from 3 years ago while attempting to sleep. Your strength is absolute stability. Your weakness is sleeping straight through the Poké-flute. When a relationship or a crisis demands a swift, empathetic reaction, you often hit snooze, leaving partners feeling entirely invalidated by your lack of urgency. Choose Psyduck or Snorlax. Now, look at the 5 Pokémon you chose. That is your first personality team. My lineup: Mew's Scattered Curiosity, Slowpoke's laggy activation speed, Umbreon's social battery, Togepi's desperate need to keep the lobby comfortable, and Psyduck genuinely believing an unexpected calendar invite signals the apocalypse. You can finally look at your life and ask, which teammate carries me? Which move do I overuse? Where am I missing coverage? Maybe your Mew needs Blastoise systems. Maybe your Togepi needs Mewtwo boundaries. Maybe your Pikachu needs to stop interpreting Umbreon's silence as rejection. Self-understanding establishes a baseline. It reveals exactly what you're working with. Suddenly, several contradictions make perfect sense. The rules of the game make sense and don't have to be lost anymore. Please drop your roster in the comments so I can see what kind of chaotic builds you're all running. We all love a simplification, don't we? But there are a few more layers, which, at risk of going all clickbait on you, change everything. In the next video, I'll show you the held items, weather effects, and automatic abilities that can make the exact same personality look like a completely different person.